Part 4, Catalogue. This lesson will show you how to make a request to IFS for a change or a service. The catalogue is the area for initiating frequently requested actions, such as delivery requests or IP whitelisting. This video demonstrates how to use the IFS support portal to make a request for a database import or export. This request type allows a user to request for IFS to either import a database file that originated outside of the IFS cloud service into a cloud service database, or to get a database file created from a cloud service database for use outside of the IFS cloud service. Please note, any request involving moving or updating customer-owned data must include clear written customer approval for those operations to take place. To make this request, click Catalogue from the home page. Then select the Database Import-Export option here. Now complete all fields that are required which are marked by a red asterisk, starting with the customer name, the user that the request is for, the environment, the reason for the request. This should include the name of the person who's approved this request. Then select the product, the delivery level of the source environment. This is the release level that the source environment is currently at. Then the delivery level of the cloud target environment. If there is a difference between the delivery level of the source and cloud target environment, you can list the number of missing deliveries here. Then choose the downtime window for this activity to take place. This should be a time when no users are using the system. For example, here I'll select a date at the weekend. If you have any attachments to add to this request, you can add those here. And once you've completed all required information, click Submit to send the request through to IFS. You can see that a request has now been raised in the form of a case starting CS. You now have the option to type a message to IFS if you wish. Otherwise, the IFS Cloud Services team will be in touch with next steps. This video will show you how to use the IFS support portal to request deployment of an existing delivery to another cloud environment. This request type allows a user to request for the IFS Cloud Delivery Coordination Team, also known as the CDC team, to schedule a previously successful product deployment onto a different existing cloud service environment for any of the following products: IFS Applications 10, IFS Applications 9, FSM 6, FSM 5, PSO 6, PSO 5. These deliveries usually require a downtime in the target environment, which must be approved by the customer. You might use this service, for example, if you've completed testing of a delivery that's been successfully deployed into your test environment. You may use this service to request that it's also delivered to your production environment. To request this service, click the Catalogue icon from the home page. Then select the option Request Deployment of Existing Delivery Package. Now complete all required fields which are marked by a red asterisk, including customer name, the user that the request is requested for, the environment in which the delivery is to be installed, and list the delivery IDs to be installed. These will usually be release numbers. The time zone is already set. Now you can select the requested start date and time for the deployment. This will need to be a downtime window when no users will be using the environment. Once you've completed all fields, you can click Order Now to send the request to IFS. You You can see that a request has now been submitted to IFS, and the request starting REQ has been created. The IFS CDC team will get in touch with you as soon as possible to confirm or reschedule the downtime for the deployment. This video will show you how to make a password request for access to a specific account and environment in your IFS Cloud environment via the IFS Support Portal. Within IFS Cloud Services, it is critical for security and operational reasons that all internal system accounts are kept under control of the Cloud Operations team. In addition, there are standard system accounts that are often typically used for administration, setup, configuration and testing functions that should only be used for system administration by the IFS Cloud Operations team. However, for various product and process reasons, certain accounts are made available to IFS project or support teams and/or the customer for a limited time. Before making a password request, please take the time to review the IFS app's password sharing policy and guidelines. You can access it via this article here, or you can search for password sharing policy and then select the article from the knowledge base section. When you finish reviewing the password policy and are ready to make the request, select Catalogue from the home page and select the password request option shown on the screen here. Fill in all the required fields where there's a red asterisk, starting with account. Then state the user that the password is requested for. Select the IFS product. Select the environment you'd like the password for. I'll select the test environment here as an example. Then give details of the reason for the password request. Specify the required IFS user account that you need, for example IFS admin. Then importantly, specify how long the access is needed for. Add any attachments if applicable. And then once the form's complete, click Submit to send the request through to IFS. You can see that a new request has now been created, starting with CS. You can send a message to IFS if you wish. Otherwise, the IFS team will be in touch with next steps as soon as possible. It's very important that the password is not distributed to anyone other than the requester who was specifically named in the original request. This video will show you how to request a main IP whitelist change in any of your cloud environments via the IFS Support Portal. This is a service to modify the main IP whitelist, add or remove new IPs or a range of IPs. This is for all existing cloud environments that you have. To request this service, click Catalogue from the home page. Now select the main IP whitelist change option shown here. Complete all of the required fields marked with a red asterisk, starting with customer name. Then select the user that you want to make the request on behalf of. Select the environment you want to make the change for. In this instance, I'll select the test environment. Then fill in the reason for the request. For example, it could be as part of a project activity or similar. Select the product and list the details of the whitelist changes that are to be made. Now select a date and time that you require for the change to be made from. If you have any attachments to add to the request, you can do so here. Once all fields are complete, click Submit to send the request through to the IFS team. You can see that a request has now been created with a ticket ID starting with CS. You can have the option now to close the case, or you can add a message to the IFS team if you wish. Otherwise, the IFS team will be in touch as soon as possible with further details of your request. This video will show you how to use the IFS support portal to make a log file request for a specific cloud environment. This request type allows a user to request one or more copies of a specific log file or files from any of their existing cloud service environments for an IFS product or third-party product hosted in the IFS cloud service, usually for debugging purposes. The requested log files will be delivered via Secure File Transfer Protocol, or FTP. To make this request, click Catalog from the home page. Then select the Log File Request option shown here. Now complete all required fields, which are marked by a red asterisk, starting with customer name. Then the name of the user making the request, the environment, the product, and the name of the requested log file or files. Give the date range of the logs requested. If you have any attachments, you can add those to the request here. When you've completed all required fields, click Submit to send the request through to the IFS team. You can see that a request has now been created in the form of a case starting with CS. You can now send a message to IFS if you wish. Otherwise, IFS will be in touch with you shortly to confirm next steps. This lesson will show you how to use the IFS support portal to request a product delivery into an existing cloud environment. Please note, this will usually be performed by IFS when a release is ready. You'll then be contacted to arrange a suitable downtime for the release to be installed into your cloud environments. From the home page, click Catalog and select the Product Delivery option. From here, you've opened a new case. You can see all of the required fields are marked by a red asterisk. All of these will need to be completed before submitting the case. Customer name can be selected here. And this list shows all of the current environments that you have. For this example, let's use the test environment. Here you can select the product or version of IFS applications that you're using. If you have any integrated applications, such as Touch Apps, PSO or FSM, you can tick these here. Next, you need to choose your downtime window for when you want the delivery to be installed. This would usually be a time when there's minimal users, or no users preferably, working on this environment. So choose a date and time which suits your business operations. Please note, this is a requested time, and if your required time slot is not available, the IFS Cloud team will inform you and arrange for an alternative. Here, enter the release number of the delivery that you wish to install. The release number will be provided by IFS, usually via an email bill of delivery. The FTP location will also be provided by IFS on your email bill of delivery when you're notified that a release is ready. If you have any special delivery instructions, you can write those in the box here. If you know the current delivery level of your target environment, in this instance that would be the test environment, you can write this here. If you had any attachments, you can add these here. And you can submit once you've completed all of the required information.
Now you can see that a new case has been created with the case ID CS0041848, and you can see all of the case details on the right hand side here. If you've raised the case in error, you can select to close the case, or if you need to send any additional messages to IFS or request an update on your case, for example, you can type the message here and click send. IFS will be in touch soon to confirm your requested downtime or to suggest another alternative.
Now, if you return to the home page, you can select Booked Activities and click through. Here, this will show you a list by default of all upcoming activities which will occur in the future. You can also update your profile if the time zone is incorrect, and you can also change the filters according to your needs. You can elect to view activities from a different start date if you choose. And then once you're happy with the filters, you can save it to use it again next time, and then click Run. You can also view past booked activities here if you want to check on any delivery, installations, or previous activities that have taken place. This video will demonstrate how to request a clone of one of your environments hosted by IFS. This request type allows a user to ask for one existing cloud service environment to be cloned to another existing cloud service environment. This is including a database copy as well as production deployment. The target cloud service environment will match the source cloud service environment delivery level and data content once the clone has been completed. This activity will require downtime in the target environment, which must be approved by the customer as part of the request. To request an environment clone via the IFS support portal, click Catalogue from the home page. Then select the Environment Cloning option. Now enter all of the required fields, marked with a red asterisk. First, customer name, then the name of the user making the request, select the product, now select the source environment. This is the environment you wish to copy. Then select the target environment. This is the location in which you wish to store the environment clone. If you know the required delivery level of the target environment, place that here. Then you can choose to clone either from the latest backup or from a specific backup. If you wish to choose this option, choose the date and time of the backup in the source environment that you wish to clone. Then choose the downtime window when you wish for the clone activity to start. You can add any attachments to the request if appropriate, and when you're ready, click Submit to send the request to IFS. You can see that this has now created a case starting with the prefix CS. You can now type a message to IFS if you wish. Otherwise, the IFS Cloud team will be in touch as soon as possible with next steps.